behind Merck's to show effectiveness in treating coronavirus. Pfizer jumping on the news while its competitors are sinking. So what does it mean for stocks? We'll start with Pfizer. And we're joined by Louise Chen, equity research analyst at Cantor Fitzgerald. Pfizer has revenues of about $51 billion. This is certainly a $1 billion a year drug, isn't it? How much is it going to boost their revenues, Louise?
Yeah, by my estimate, I think it could be tens of billions of dollars, especially since their data looks better than Merck's. I think it was a lot better than people had anticipated, being at 89% versus roughly 50% reduction in hospitalization and death for Merck's product. So definitely think it has big sales potential.
They say they're taking the data to the FDA, I guess, and then to the CDC quickly. When could the earliest administration of this drug begin?
Yeah, it actually could be sooner than we anticipate. There is an advisory meeting coming up on November 30th for Merck's molnupiravir, and I assume Pfizer's will be tacked onto that given the data we saw today. But in speaking to the company today, there is no reason that they have to wait for that advisory committee for the FDA to approve it. And that, in fact, happened with antibodies. There was no AdCom before antibodies were approved because the safety and efficacy was very clean.
Louise, I'm curious how you think this could supplant demand for the vaccine at all from the point of view of breaking down Pfizer into some of the parts. Where does this leave you for 2022?
Yeah, so I think 2022 is still going to be a robust year in terms of vaccine sales, but this definitely adds a lot of upside. So we're going to see tens of billions of dollars from their COVID-19 franchise, which I think that people didn't fully expect. Now, 2022 for vaccine sales, I think a lot of that is in the bag because they already have contracted doses and they've already given guidance of at least $29 billion from those doses, and they could make up to 4 billion doses, and that's based on 1.7 billion contracted doses. So I think 2022 will still be good. I don't expect it to fully impact vaccines. I think if you want to get a vaccine, you're still going to get it. If you don't want to get it, you're not going to get it. But what I think it does help is to really stamp out this virus, because for those that don't have great efficacy from vaccines, for those that can't have access to vaccines in certain parts of the world, for those that don't want to take a vaccine, here's another alternative to prevent the spread of COVID.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And curiously, I don't mean to overshare here, but I got my booster shot this morning. And if you gave me a choice between taking a vaccine or taking a course of medicines, I would always choose the inoculation ahead of taking a course of medicines. But that's just me. That's not I'm not making a choice for anybody else. Implicit in Kelly's question is, what is the effect on the vaccine business of a company like Moderna, which does not have the full portfolio of drugs and medicines that a Pfizer or a Merck or a J&J has?
Yeah, I think this definitely, at least for Pfizer, puts them in the catbird seat with respect to the COVID-19 franchise, right? So they've got best in class in everything. That's my opinion. But if you look at their vaccine, they have the most data. They're going to be the only ones in the near term for children and adolescents. I think, it's not clear that the rest of the vaccines are particularly safe for younger parts of our population. And then they have the best oral antiviral pill right now in terms of the efficacy. There are more trials that to be had, but this was the highest bar that Pfizer had to meet, which is the high-risk patients.
Right.
The other two trials are lower bars and could show even better efficacy than at 89%.
All right, Louise, thank you very much. Hopeful news there. Louise Chen with Cantor Fitzgerald.